As a teacher, I get very stressed sometimes, yes. As a classroom teacher, sometimes in your lesson, something will go wrong, especially as a science teacher, the equipment won't work or something will happen and you'll be quite stressed about that. You might have some deadlines that you've got to meet. You know, lots of coursework and controlled assessments and stuff like that. You know, I feel fairly stressed at the moment with my year 11s just about to go through their exams because I want to help them and I want them to do well. As a head of year, as you guys know, I do get very stressed when things aren't quite going right, you know, in terms of behaviour or in terms of results and stuff like that. You know, I worry and I stress and I want to do stuff to make it better.
Yes, I get stressed all the time as a teacher because teaching is a very stressful job. I love it to pieces. But actually, spending time with 20 or 30 teenagers for many hours of the day is stressful and enjoyable in equal measure. Trying to run a school and help the head teacher run the school is also very stressful, and learning how to manage that stress as well as manage the jobs I have to do in school, like being a teacher and help run the school and being a parent and a husband. Life is stressful, and I think we're quite a stressed country, so we have to learn to de-stress and find things to do to relax ourselves. It's my birthday today and my wife's just bought me a hammock, and therefore I'm going to be sitting in my hammock and that will hopefully help me calm down.
Shouldn't stress. I think there's lots of stuff as a school we can do to help you with your stress, preparing you for it, helping you to get as much done early on as you can, you know, getting controlled assessment and coursework out of the way, providing revision sessions, providing things like mentors that come into school that can talk you through it, who've been there, who've done it, you know, linking you up with maybe, you know, old year 11s who've been through that stress, making you aware of what's going to happen and just preparing you as early as possible.
Oh, that's a good question. How do I think that school should deal with students' stress? I think partly it's about helping them feel that they are in control, because the stress is actually being out of control. I don't know what's going on, I don't know whether I can do it. So it's showing students that they can. And all students, but I think particularly Stoke students, don't believe that they can. Yeah? Whenever I ask a question in class, they always say, oh, is it this? Whereas in the school that I used to teach at, the answer was, it is this. The answer was the same, the confidence or lack of confidence was the difference. Okay, so it's about believing that you can. Yes, I do know what I'm talking about, I have got a good idea, and therefore that will help you believe that you can do it, and that will reduce the stress. I think also sometimes we need to give you some time to do stress-free things. Now that's why we make sure we have PE in the curriculum in year 10 and year 11. You all have an hour of PE, but actually you need to be doing way more than that. But that's partly what I said to do with having homework or lack of homework. When you get home, you have to manage your stress, go and do some physical things. I think sitting in front of a PlayStation or an Xbox or on your phone is not de-stressing. Go and do something physical. For me, I go and chop wood, and that de-stresses me.
I wasn't really very sure what I wanted to do when I left school. I wanted to be a vet for a little while. Then I did my work experience in a vets and got too upset when the animals had to be put down. So sort of struck that off my list. So I wasn't really very sure, but I ended up going to sixth form and doing A-levels and then university, so that's good.
No, I just knew I didn't want to be a teacher.
Why is that?
Why? Because I can remember saying to my mum, I've got my A-levels, I don't know what I want to do next, but I don't want to be stuck in a school for the rest of my life.
Not really. I had a few ideas of things that interested me. For instance, I liked animals, so thought maybe I could be a vet. So I had a few ideas, but I wasn't very realistic about them because I suppose I hadn't had the information to know what was realistic for me at that age.
I think I felt prepared for the next step. I knew that I was going to go to sixth form and I was going to do my A-levels, so I felt prepared for that, but I wouldn't say I felt prepared for anything after that or, you know, prepared to think about what was going to happen after that. But in terms of going on to A-levels, then yeah, I felt fine.
No, we never had careers advice. I was told I could be a nurse, teacher or a secretary.
I think I was ready to leave school and go somewhere else. Was I prepared? No, I mean, things were different in my days. You get a lot more careers advice and a lot more information about what's out there when you leave school. But we didn't have that, and it was up to us to go and find out what the colleges were, where they were, what courses they all offered us. So no, I don't think I was as well prepared as you are nowadays.
No, I had no idea what I wanted to do after I left school when I was in year 9. I think I took it a step at a time. I looked at all the A-level options that were available, picked things that were quite broad so that then I knew I could go on and do whatever I wanted after that.
Not at all. No idea at all, no.
I did. I knew quite early on that I wanted to be a PE teacher, and that's what I did. So I did, when I then got to the point of applying to universities and colleges to do my higher education, I then considered the idea of becoming a primary teacher, and I did consider that and apply for that because it was very competitive to get into. There was only one female PE college in Scotland and it was quite competitive. So I had a sort of backup, but I was very pleased when I got in to do my first choice course.
I didn't want to be a teacher. That was the last thing I wanted to be.
I had a few ideas in year 9 about what I wanted to do, nothing really definite, and I think that my ideas were fairly unrealistic. I liked animals, thought I could be a vet, but in fact I was rubbish at sciences, so that was not realistic for me. So I had a few ideas, but a lot of them weren't realistic.
I think the benefits of further education are massive. I think, you know, even just from the qualifications you get through to the people that you meet, the experiences that you have and the different places that you get to go to, I think it opens so many doors for you.
I think it helps students, helps young people prepare for the future. It gives them a chance to learn all that they might need.
I think, again, just that education in any form is never wasted. So I think what education just gives you is more opportunities and choices. So now there are some occupations and jobs that you can do with further training. So if you are really sure of what you want to do when you leave school, you can go into an apprenticeship and you can continue education in that way. But it's very difficult. I think when I was at school, people were looking at a career and a job that they were going to do for the rest of their life. Looking at young people now, you may have several different careers in your lifetime. So I think the broader that you can keep your education and the longer that you can stay in education, then so you may have one career for 5 to 10 years, and you may then decide that you want to have a different route. And what you will need to do then is you will use some of the experience that you've had from that first career, but you may also have to go back and look at some of the qualifications that you've gained en route to do that, because you might need those.
Oh, there's lots of benefits of further education. You become more independent, you gain lots of confidence, you meet lots of different people, different ages, from different backgrounds, and you learn lots of new things, and it just helps you in your future career.
The benefits of further education are that it's a next stepping stone into what you want to do. I think when you leave school at 16, you've got some ideas about what you want to do. You've taken the subjects that interest you. Hopefully you've taken a broad base of subjects to keep your options open. But I think you still are not completely certain about what you want to do at the end of the day. So further education will give you an insight into what else is out there, because you could change your mind from 16 to 18. So further education, you need to be studying something that interests you, but try and keep your options open in case you change your mind.
I really think that the more careers advice you guys can get, then the better prepared you will be for when you leave school. I think the more you know about what's available to you and what's out there, the better your future life's going to be.
I do, yes. There is an awful lot that's available outside, and it needs to be made known to students, and it's a very big job.
That's how careers are taught here at Stoke.
We begin in year 9 in PSHE lessons, where students look at a program called Kudos on the computer. It helps them to put in their hobbies, their likes, their dislikes, and they have a chance then to learn about various other jobs that are available to them, the careers that they will that are open to them, the qualifications that they will need. In year 10, again, we will start to talk to students in lunchtime drop-in meetings about what they're planning to do. And we will continue with that in year 11, when we will have meetings with each student, discuss the subjects that they are taking, their plans for sixth form and the future, and we will then help them with making applications to sixth form college. Or if they don't want to go to college, there are apprenticeships that we will help them with that as well. So it's a long programme. It's not just a case of year 11, what are you going to do? Get on with it. We will start from year 9.
If I had my way, we'd start at 5 in the junior schools and work through. So yes, I do think we need more.
I think that careers advice could actually start in primary school to get younger students thinking about what they want to do in the future. I think that we give a very good careers advice service here at Stoke High School. When you start in year 7, you do actually do a little bit on careers, and as you go through the school towards year 11, the focus on careers does increase. When you get to year 9, you'll get a lot of advice when you choose your options. Year 10, we will be doing visits to colleges, doing careers interviews, and in year 11s we'll be supporting you with completing your college applications.
Apprenticeships is where you will go and work along with a company, and you'll be at that company, at that business for a few days, and then also spending a bit of time in college. So I think it's a really good way for you to get a bit of both, really. So you'll be in a business, you'll be in a company, and you'll experience what the actual job is like and get some hands-on experience. But then also you get to go into a college or a sixth form centre and do the more sort of technical stuff.
What are apprenticeships, and can you tell us about them?
Apprenticeships are a way of learning and earning at the same time, as opposed to going to college where it is just a case of learning. With an apprenticeship, you will have a job, you'll get paid for that job, and you'll have possibly a day or two when you go to college to learn to gain the qualifications for the job. There is the National Apprenticeship Scheme, which we advise students to sign up to. That will then show them the apprenticeships that are available within the area, and then they can take it from there. They can apply for apprenticeships.
Apprenticeships are brilliant. I've got a daughter who's an apprentice. She signed up on the National Apprenticeship Register and was contacted by the firm she's now working for. And she goes and she does a year with them where she has to do a certain number of tasks according to the apprenticeship she's doing. So she's working in the healthcare sector, but she's working as an office administrator. So she's learning all about how to run the office, how to keep the books ready when the Care Quality Commission comes in. She's learned how to do payroll, lots of things. You can get them in other trades as well. You can be a motor mechanic, learn that way. It's the best way, it's learning on the job.
Apprenticeships are another form of further education where you're learning while actually doing the job. You get paid to do that. It's a very small wage, but you do get paid. You do something like 3 or 4 days in the job, and you can do apprenticeships in all sorts of things. Practical based things like motor mechanics, hairdressing, to office placements like accountants, administration, national health, banks, they all offer apprenticeships. So you would do 3 or 4 days working in the job, whatever it is, and then you do 1 or 2 days day release at college doing a qualification that relates to your job. So you're getting qualifications and valuable work experience.
Lights ready. Camera rolling.